I am often kept awake at night by the iceberg that is human history. We really only have about 5,000 years of data for a species that has been around for about 300,000 years. In total, about 98% of our ancestors' stories will never be told. The incredibly rare glimpses we get at humanity past the 5,000-year curtain reveal to us that for as long as people have congregated, we have been trying to put a face, a voice, a name for whatever or whoever was responsible for putting us here. What you are looking at here is Göbekli Tepe, a Neolithic site in southern Turkey. The structures and reliefs you are seeing here are well over 10,000 years old. We will never know for certain, but common archaeological consensus believes that this site was a temple. Stranger still, there isn't any real hard evidence for a community surrounding the structure. That means our wandering precursors left and continually returned to this place. All of this speaks to me pretty clearly, and it says to me that yes, we will never know who or what our ancestors venerated here. But what we do know is that whoever or whatever it was, it must have been pretty damn compelling. We actually have to take a pretty massive jump of well over 5,000 years before we get to see hard evidence of our forefathers personifying the deities they worshipped. You are looking at the remnants belonging to the people of Sumer, the world's oldest known civilization. And thanks to Sumerian cuneiform being the oldest known written language, the gods of our predecessors finally have an identity. The goat-looking character in the top right of this relief is Anu, divine personification of the sky and king of all the gods. And this guy with the fun hat is Enki, god of water and knowledge. There are several more examples I could show you, but the point is we know who these entities were. We know what they were responsible for and what great feats they accomplished. Now, I would love to spend a great deal of time exploring ancient Babylonian, Egyptian, Greek, and Hebrew depictions of God, but for the sake of time and brevity and the focus of this video, I want to jump all the way to 232 AD. This crude illustration may not look like anything at first glance, but this is actually an interpretation of Jesus healing the paralytic. And it stands as one of our earliest depictions of Jesus Christ as a divine entity. To further show how depictions of God change over time, let's look at the same figure. Let's continue to look at Jesus Christ. This wall painting from the 4th century is one of our earliest studies of a bearded Jesus, an aspect now congruous with modern belief and theology. In modern times, we have the head of Christ, also known as the salmon head, which has been reproduced hundreds of millions of times since its original painting in 1940. 1983 gave us the portrait of Christ I am most familiar with, Christ in Red Robe by Dale Parson. This depiction was adopted by the LDS Church, and as a former member, it was a consistent image of my upbringing. The manifestation of God has evolved immensely since the first time the people of ancient Turkey first carved unknown avatars into ancient stone. Works of faith that used to take us years of devotion now take us seconds. The entire lineage of religious iconography has been reduced to code and fed into a machine. We are now able to call up images of the divine at the press of a button. And what do we do with this divine edifice? Well, how do I even say this? We use the culmination of the knowledge gathered over our 300,000 year existence to put Jesus on reality television. I was first made aware of this phenomenon when YouTuber YMS did a live stream reacting to these videos back in February. And I can't stop thinking about it.
Okay. People say generative AI is not art. How do you explain this? How do you explain that?
I am not exaggerating when I say that these videos are countless. And in doing research for this project, I see new ones I haven't seen every single day. It was watching these videos that finally led me to a haunting realization. After 10,000 plus years, God finally has a face, a voice, a name, and it's not the version of Jesus on screen. It's us. The Son of God exists. But again, it's not the portrayal of the Messiah created for these videos. It's the video itself and the algorithm used to create new ones. Each iteration getting further and further away from the human hands that created it. But it's still our prosperity regardless. Looking at the comments of these videos further emphasizes this. Not only did we create a God, we also created its congregation. These videos, in their own way, have become a modern digital version of Göbekli Tepe, constructed by code for spam and content bots to make a holy pilgrimage to the sacred comment section. It is very true that the gods of the past are the people of the future, and sometimes we use our divinity well. We can heal ailments and injuries at a capacity that would appear to be miracles to those watching with ancient eyes. Our structures can be built faster and higher than any pyramid or any ziggurat. By the stroke of the same hand, we can cause Kali levels of destruction in an instant. But despite how much I would love to make a Neolithic hunter-gatherer eat pop rocks and watch Jesus on America's Got Talent, ancient eyes will not be able to look upon our works and despair. Humans from the last 5 generations are different from those who came before us. Each and every one of us wields unrecognizable power compared to those previous. We get to set the table for those who will come after us. And what will we leave behind? Will it be more AI slop? More wealth disparity? Maybe even a nuclear hellscape? Is it really even possible for us to leave anything worth note behind? AI generation is outpacing artists and musicians. Yeah, and for sure not in quality, but most definitely in quantity. Buildings and neighborhoods with cultural and historical significance are being destroyed to make way for commercial apartments and Amazon warehouses. Leaving a legacy isn't just what we leave behind for the next 100 years, but what we leave for the custodians of the planet to find 10,000 years from now. Shouldn't we want to leave behind our own Göbekli Tepe? An article that represents the best of us? An artifact that will keep future generations up at night thinking of who we are and what we did? Instead, we managed to take a 10,000-year legacy of looking for answers and enlightenment and twisted it into Jesus turning himself into furry bait. I just hope our prosperity chooses to do something better with whatever it is we leave behind.